Finally, let's work on constructing a square or regular quadrilateral. In order to get started with a square, one of the methods that we'll use is to start with a point P, similar to a regular hexagon. Then I'm going to grab my compass and I'll draw a circle around point P, entire 360-degree circle centered at P. And again, the radius of this circle will be half of the diagonal of the square that we end up with. Now at this point, I need to draw a diameter of the circle. And in order to draw a diameter, I need to use my straight edge and make sure that I draw a line that goes through point P, the center of the circle. And wherever I have this diameter intersecting the circle will end up being the vertices of the square. So I could go straight across like so, but in doing this, I'm making my corners of my square be on the left and on the right, so it will actually appear more like what you might call a diamond. If I go at a diagonal with this line, then it would be more like parallel to the edges of the page, making a square that you're used to seeing. But either way, once you have your diameter, label those points A and C. And one of the things that we'll discuss in Chapter 6 is that the diameters of a square are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So now that I have radius AC, what I really need is the other diagonal of the square by creating the perpendicular bisector of this segment from A to C. So you might remember the perpendicular bisector procedure. I'm going to put the point of the compass at A, open the compass up so it's more than halfway but not quite all the way across the diameter, and I'll draw a semicircle around point A. Then, keeping the same compass band, bring the point of the compass over to C, draw another semicircle here of the same radius from point C. Now I've got my football shape, and using the straight edge to connect those intersections on the points of the football should go right through P, which is the center of the circle and the midpoint of the diagonal, and that should give me a perpendicular bisector of segment AC. So now that I have two lines that are perpendicular and congruent and they're bisectors of each other, those will be the diagonals of the square that I'm trying to construct. So I can label this point B, label this point D, and then use my straight edge to connect each of those consecutive vertices. Connect A to B, and B to C, C to D, and D back to A. And again, this would be one that we would want to consider erasing or cleaning up some of the unnecessary parts of the construction. So I'll do that as we go here. And I can keep or delete the diagonals, whichever I see fit. And now you can see that I've got a square or regular quadrilateral.